The Jets have a choice. Well, might have a chance of getting Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr, for those who don't know, was relieved of his abilities with the Raiders. I think, they made a choice, and they make bad choices. They do things they don't. And this is, I want people, they don't really care about the athlete, right? They don't. But so this is one way of proving it. And he, being a Jets fan, obviously doesn't like winning, but he, being a Jet fan, thinks that they should get Derek Carr instead of Aaron Rodgers. And he says because he believes Derek Carr is a better teammate than Aaron Rodgers. Now, let's go over this. Yes, having chemistry, having a great teammate, but having a great, which he's considered to be the best quarterback, even better than Tom Brady, come to your team, only raises the level of play that your team is going to be at. It's going to raise the level to have Aaron Rodgers there because you can't slack. You have to play up to your potential when you're playing with Aaron Rodgers because you can tell, even on a bad day, he has a good day. His bad days, he makes up for it, which I don't see a lot of. I think that attitude. I think Aaron Rodgers going to New York as, man, how many things he can have? Granger, he can have Roku, he can have Tesla, all kind of things come in. Like getting a check from them is not going to be a thing from the team, is not going to be important. But, man, having him there is going to change the mentality of the New York Jets.
I agree with – I actually think you're both right in a weird way. Like, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, great talent, one of the best people to play quarterback, not necessarily the greatest winner. He's only been to one Super Bowl and he won. That was like 10 years ago. But you get him, and you have a short window with him because of his age. So if you could, like I think Stephen A. said this morning, if you can get Aaron to commit to your team for 2-3 years, I think the Jets, how they're currently constructed with all these great young players on their rookie deals, they could make some noise. But Derek Carr is probably a better teammate. Does that make sense?
No. As I said to my cousin Mike, no. Let me explain to y'all.
Just because you're great doesn't make you a great teammate. I asked you who your best teammates were, and they wasn't Kobe, Shaq, or Michael Jordan.
No. Well, see, you have to understand why. Those guys are in a cage. Those guys, Isaiah couldn't go to some of the clubs I wanted him to go to. I took Isaiah to one club in Atlanta, and you guys figure it out, has great hot wings. And
we follow them on Twitter.
And
the kitchen.
And he, the whole time we were pulling up, he was thinking, well, I said, oh, you're going to love this. You can come in and go out, check it out. And when he gets in, I don't think Isaiah went past the lady taking the money. And halfway he was like, Sal, you can't bring me into a place like that. So I this is more for me. But when I brought him in there, it was amazing. He was like, dog, I can't be in here. And I realized, certain guys can't live their lives. They can't. Like Shaquille couldn't go. Kobe wouldn't go. You have to have great teammates. Like, that will go out. And so I can go out with B. Shaw. I can hang out with my boy Ralph Lewis. Glenn Rice and I used to go see movies, and go to Dave & Buster's and stuff like that. That's why I picked them. But would I not want Michael Jordan, Kobe, Shaquille, Isaiah Thomas on my squad? Oh, most definitely. I don't want them to be. I don't worry about them being good teammates. I want them to be their greatest, and I fit in where I get in, like I did. So I think that's more important. And I think it's more important to win now and to get greatness now, because having Aaron Rodgers is going to make your players play different. Point. The great Tom Brady went down to Tampa and made everybody better, and they won a championship. That one, and he only needed to win that 1 year, and he did, and he made everybody better. Yeah, he had Gronk, and he had some help, but he went down there, and the yelling and the pointing and the demanding and keeping those guys focused throughout the entire game shows in winning a championship. And that's the most important thing in professional sports. If you think it's just having a good teammate and putting on a good show, that's not, then they wouldn't count the points. It'd be a Broadway show. You know, who cares who wins? There would be no points. But when it comes to points, you want to have a team to win the championship. And I think right now, if Aaron Rodgers were to commit for 1 year and play and ball out, the Jets are going to be in the conversation.
Yeah, Rich, is a huge Jets fan as well. And Chris and I were kind of egging him on to Rodgers, but he does not want Aaron Rodgers as the Jets quarterback. And his thing is, he looks at this as a bad thing, but personally, I look at this as a good thing. He goes, what happens with Aaron Rodgers has to take on that New York media because he's kind of protected and, with the Green Bay media, they're not going to come at him the way New York media will. And he thought that was a bad thing. Me personally, I would look forward to that back and forth every day because you're going to, hear some stuff you never thought you'd live to hear. So I think that would be highly entertaining. I don't know how it would work out on the field, but there'd be some entertainment value.
I don't think the media would treat Aaron Rodgers poorly in New York. It'd be very welcoming.
You think?
I think so.
You've been to New York, right?
Yeah, I'm from New York.
Yeah, I know.
And I never really wanted to play in New York, but I really do feel that they would treat him really well.
Until he comes out with, I don't know, some of the things that people take offense to, some of the things he says. So, I don't know, Chris. I think you're in agreement. Like that would strike a chord there, right?
He doesn't have to worry about the non-vaxxers anymore. He doesn't have to worry about the fact that he does ayahuasca, and he doesn't have to worry about all of that stuff because Chuck Daly used to say, winning covers a multitude of sins. So if you win, people let things go. They won't pay that much attention to it. As long as you win for us, that's the important thing. I used to think this. Why baseball were upset with guys when they did steroids. I don't care if I get in trouble for saying this, but you guys don't care what they do to their bodies as long as they can perform, right? So if you were on Broadway, like I said, and you were doing cocaine, but you were a great actor, no one cared.
Steroid era saved baseball.
I think so too. And they want to look at it crazy. I think it's important to put on a good show. The good show, the winning show in sports is the most important show. When you win, that's all people want to hear. And
I think Rich's point about Rodgers too is that what he's saying right now and what he's said the last couple of years has gone unchecked. No one in the Green Bay media has really challenged him. Pat McAfee certainly doesn't challenge him when he goes on his show every Tuesday. But the New York media will challenge Aaron. And then what comes after that, nobody really knows.
I think Pat
and if he does have a bad game or two or three in a row, suddenly now the microscope and what he says is going to get even more dissected, and it's going to be the whole hour on First Take every morning and WFAN and all the other shows in that market. So I think that's Rich's point, is that Aaron doesn't really want that. Yeah. And so he's more comfortable if he just stays in Green Bay, where he can kind of say and do whatever he wants, or he can go to Las Vegas. No one's going to really challenge him in the Las Vegas media as well. So staying in those two comfortable situations is a lot different than going to New York, where everything you say is scrutinized, and you'll be on every newspapers matter in that city. So you'll be on the back pages every single day. I
think he's going to win. And I'm going to say it right here on the great Rich Eisen Show. Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, Jets to the Super Bowl.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.